Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire episode 72. The last few episodes have been quite rough. I have been subject to just a ridiculous amount of attacks, and this episode I hope to be able to get a little bit of a respite from the ridiculous number of attacks and actually start to rearm and replace and put things in motion so that I can more ably defend myself in the future. So what I'm doing initially is I'm going to build a bit of a roof over my kill box and the walkway between my base and my kill box so that I don't build up too much toxic fallout while traversing. Other things I needed to do is to put firefighting back on high priority. I took it off because of the incendiary mechs. And as they were always firing at something that was getting rained on, so I didn't feel the need to have anyone in my base firefighting, because it was always fires that were going to put themselves out, but now that is no longer true, and I should have firefighting as a high priority for everybody in the colony. Philip reminded me of a technique I was using not too long ago, the priority hauling method, where my pets would help to priority haul things that were really important to me. And I'm going to set up a stockpile for priority hauling yet again. So what this is here, it is a zone that sort of forces my pets to haul steel to the kill box rearming. So thank you, Philip, for reminding me of that. And I will put Glitch and Maverick on that priority haul. And let's name it so I remember what it is. Pet priority hauling. All right, JD, I would like you to finish fabricating the ear, and next time you go to sleep, we're going to install that. Done. So other things I need to, oh no, stop that. Other things I need to focus on, in my opinion, is ways for me to renewably defend myself in the future. It seems like relying on deep drilled uranium or uranium that is purchased from traders, which I've missed some opportunities in the past to do, which is my bad. But relying on those to keep me alive isn't going to work for me. What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take matters into my own hand and probably employ a lot more autocannon turrets than I was previously planning on. Another thing I'm going to have Phoenix do here is clear out this mech cluster. This mech cluster here isn't going to harm Reapers in any significant way, being that there's only 4 turrets. But what it is doing is it's keeping me from being able to gain access to my trade goods. So yeah, let's wipe this mech cluster out. Now, for other reminders, we have about 3 days left on guarding Constans, Rio, and Pha. And then after that, we're going to go to the cross Simeon and the encampment to take out that encampment and to make a neuroformer. That neuroformer will be used to bring Hippie up from Silent 4 to Silent 5, which is a pretty significant climb. Silent 5 introduces a whole lot of really good stuff. And Phoenix, yeah, let's wipe this cluster out. He'll get splashed on, but that's all right. Oh no, he dodged it. All right, now what I'm going to be doing is saying stay fortified. We'll include this spot here to allow the hauling of this. And then what I can also do is I can add pet priority hauling over here as well. So that would encourage my Gorillos to haul the trade goods that are out here. Yeah, let's actually go this way. There. Looks like Constans, Rio, and Pha really couldn't be any happier, so I'm glad that I've been doing them justice, I guess. Other things I'm going to want to do is to get the high explosive shells replaced promptly. Gabe and Leth both have creative inspirations, and I shouldn't miss the opportunity to use them. So Gabe is going to be more or less glued to that bench there for a bit, so I don't miss the opportunity to make something grand. My constructors are going to be roofing everything up, and then once they're done roofing everything up, all of the turrets that took damage are going to be repaired. And as you can see, there's now steel being hauled out here for rearming the shots. Oh, is that not valid power? Oh, it is not. All right, let's put the light here then, and then another one here. Here we go. Moving around in the dark incurs a movement penalty, so I'm trying to avoid that. Oh, and that's... Where's the live power here? Oh, it's further back. Okay. I'm having trouble turning the lights on. I'm running an advanced base on an alien planet, and I'm being stumped by light bulbs. That hurts my feelings just a little bit. Another thing I want Phoenix to do is to, let's actually unrestrict him real quick and get this door built. You're bringing 8 steel to the door. Okay. It's really not that helpful. Where are you going? Okay, you're going straight into the enemy's... no. Let's forbid. Actually, let's grab my forbid tool. None of this is going to be allowed. Don't touch it. Thank you. All those Reapers that I had that had died attacking that last mech cluster, I know it makes very little sense for them to turn into skeletons, but they are now rotted, I guess. And there we go. Now we can put you back on State Fortified. We have an Inspired Taming from Mario, which is not helpful because there's almost never animals to tame. And JD, when you go to sleep next, we'll do that ear surgery. Make you not deformed by these guys' standards. All right, rearming the turrets is probably what I'm most concerned about. So I'm going to get my constructors to repair the ones that are badly damaged, which is just about all of them, and rearm them. Hippie is this worth it? Whatever. The toxic buildup that Hippie's getting is not all that dangerous yet, so we're just going to continue allowing her to clean up all the slag and shredded mechanoid stuff. Well, it's very good that I'm starting to get tea again. Unfortunately, my old table for the tea has been filled with beer, so I'm going to have to remedy that as well. Oh, who's eating something raw? Oh, okay, that's fine. It's berries. All right, JD is now asleep. I'm going to do the right ear surgery with Raptor. I'm not going to use the proper hospital bed because I'm not all that worried about failing. Famous last words. But it should be fine. Raptor is a very capable surgeon. He doesn't really require a formal hospital. And that's done. So now JD has that bionic ear. And at this point, it's we're getting pretty good at rearming everything. As you can see, we don't have too much left to do. Just some repairs here and there. And the toxic buildup our guys have isn't critical yet. Yep, that looks nearly fully reset. Let's do a quick inspection of all the turrets, making sure the barrel durabilities are near full. This one could use a little bit more. Something in the 50s. If it's below 50, I will force a rearm. Yeah, I'll force a rearm in that one too. It's at 50, but get it a little bit higher. All right, this looks much nicer. Hippie is sweeping the last of the bits. And I think we are fully rearmed and repaired. Some of these autocannons here could use rearming as well. Okay. Now, there's not uranium for us to do uranium slug rearming, so that's going to be something that Raptor's going to have to work on with the ground penetrating scanner, trying to get that information relayed and finding some of that stuff. I hope we're able to do that quickly, because not having our uranium slugs puts us at a surprising and debilitating disadvantage if we don't address that. Quest log. We have these guests for 2 more days. Now, what I don't have is ship landing beacons, and I could actually get ship landing beacons out here. Wouldn't be that much of a problem. So the requirements of ship landing beacons is that they're spread out 10 apart, or 9 apart from one another. So let's do a full 10, why not? And those beacons are going to be fine. I'm going to run a conduit through them. And now what they do is they signal that the ships should land there. It's a specified landing point. So I'm going to task JD to start building that. And then if I ever have visitors, you know, we know exactly where they'll land, which is pretty useful. A little expensive to keep all the beacons on all the time. I guess what I could do is, you know, you never know when you're going to get a shuttle visit, so I'm going to leave them on, because it's not like I don't have the power, but it's going to tell me that the beacons are unusable until they're all constructed, which I don't really understand why my constructors are walking away from the construction projects, but, you know, whatever. There we go. So beacons are now usable. And this green spot is where shuttles can land. I would love to... You know, 64 steel is not that expensive. I will... Uh-oh. Unfortunately, Rio just got food poisoning from eating the berries. I was going to say I will floor that up so that there's a little bit of a fanfare. Because it's really not that much steel. It's about the same amount of steel that goes into a heater. Or, yeah. Well, 50 and 64. I don't know. Thereabouts. A few lights. Okay, so that's my landing zone. Maybe look a little nicer if I lined it like that. So a little bit more expensive, but aesthetically pleasing, and I can afford it. So now with this mech cluster down and gone and defeated, I'm going to be able to... Well, it's not fully defeated. What I might do is right when the... Or actually, I'll do it now. So one thing I can do is to have the mech cluster be formally defeated as a mood buff for my guests, so that my guests are happier. Because the guests average their mood over the past few days, and having a nice little boon of... You know, previous 2 days, right? And they're leaving it about 2 days. Having a nice little boon of like, hey, we defeated a mech cluster would be kind of nice for them. So I'm going to send Hippie over here to help defeat this cluster too. And then another thing I could do is just expand my state fortified zone to just include this area so they can haul the slag and destroy the rest of the cluster and all that stuff. Try to get this out of the way. All right. So now, my guests are going to have this defeated mech cluster +4 for the duration, the remainder of the duration of their stay, which is a pretty good use for defeating the mech cluster at a specific time. And then I'll get Phoenix and Hippie to start hauling the materials that are here. And then we can just break down the walls and all that. Okay. There we go. Hauling the plasteel. So the rest of this mech cluster can just be broken down for parts. And then I could even, if I was desperate, I could even mine up the compacted steel, but I'm not desperate yet. I don't want to build up too much toxic fallout while I'm out there. Bash, I just saw you flirt. Don't do that. Alright. Bash is toxic fallout. He's climbing a little higher than I'd want it to, but it's not in danger territory yet. I will continue to keep an eye on everyone though. So Bash is up in minor, as is Hippie. They're both up in minor. Hippie is a little bit higher than I'd want it to be. So what I might be able to do is to say Hippie to stay inside for a bit. And Bash will do the same. Gabe hasn't seen the light of day in a while because he's been working on this grand sculpture this whole time because he has the inspiration. And then Leth will be following suit soon. Ooh, Leth has a lot of toxic buildup. So Leth, you stay inside as well. And then my guests, of course, won't have really any buildup at all, as they've mostly been keeping to themselves and indoors. Leth, I didn't realize you cooked. You shouldn't be cooking. Why are you cooking? Nope, 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 nope. I don't want food poisoning, thank you. Okay, so here is the first of the sculptures that I will be making. Now, Gabe here is a capable artist at 11. Leth is only a 5, so I'm not going to allow Leth to do something grand because I don't believe in her. No, it sounds so rude. Can you just finish? Force you to finish. So I do have some colonists that are idle, and that's fine. I just don't want them to get sick. There's also the case that I have to check my animals for toxic buildup. So Maverick is fine. Glitch has a tiny bit, but he's not yet an issue. Okay, we got a masterwork out of that. That's a pretty good result of artistry. A masterwork grand statue will definitely fetch a nice price on the market. The other problem that I foresee is I'm kind of running out of spots to put them. Gabe, if I could fit this into your bedroom, I would, but I can't, so I won't. Let's get the ground penetrating scanner back on, and I'm gonna have to remember to uninstall this sandstone grand sculpture as well for when it's time to sell that as well. So a large sculpture. Let's make a large sculpture with Leth to use up that inspiration. Now, it looks like I'm running low on potatoes for simple meals, but I'm not all that worried about that yet. We're about to have the guests gone, and then I can start using the berries as a food source for simple meals. So how are we doing out here? We have almost hauled away all the granite, and then this mech cluster is all but gone, and there's just some slag and steel and a few components left to haul. Not that expensive. Hippie's on a work frenzy. She has very little work to actually do, though, unfortunately. I suppose with Leth and Gabe, I could turn on the deep drill and start getting more plasteel. I suspect I'm going to have to be using a lot of plasteel for auto turrets soon, so it wouldn't hurt to have a buildup of plasteel ready for that inevitability. 20 more hours. So this is, what, 200 watts of power to keep the beacons on? A little expensive, but it's not something I can't afford. And it's nice to have a dedicated landing spot, I suppose. Alright, JD is still shredding mechanoids. There's not too many left to shred. Let's do a quick health check, making sure that, yeah, Phoenix, you've climbed too high. And then Hippie, yeah, all of our toxic fallouts are sort of climbing, unfortunately. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Stay Fortified Zone include some of these mechanoids here. It's not that important that I get them shredded, but leaving the resources that they have, I might as well utilize them if I can. And then anyone that has been set on a stay inside zone that does not have minor toxic buildup can be allowed to go back outside. So it's just managing poison levels or whatever. It's one way to think about it. Hippie, why are you mining? There, there's a lot of weird skill stuff going on, so let me take a quick look at it. Leth, yeah, you should be art. There, a little bit better. Okay, that looks a little bit more reasonable. I'm not really sure what was going on with those priorities. Obviously a mistake, and I fixed it. So we have most of our steel, and as you can see, I'm actually kind of low-ish on steel, but most of our steel is now in the kill box, ready to be used to rearm, which is very, very helpful. We're hauling, oh, more got, Constance, darn. We're getting more of these mechs hauled away to be shredded. There's a few more mechs and a little bit of steel out that way as well. Alright. Well, unfortunately, my guest here, Constance, is probably going to leave while having food poisoning, which is going to ruin all of my attempts to get him happy while he's here. Because there's not much else I can do. You know, I can... Yeah, there's really not much I can do. If I had harder drugs, which I never actually got around to making, I could have him take some yayo or something like that to ignore the fact that he's in food poisoning pain. Or actually go juice. Alright, what's on fire? Nothing. Okay. Because go juice is a really powerful painkiller. It might be worth it. And then another thing I obviously have to do after I do Simeon into the encampment is to get rid of this rainy thunderstorm forced weather event. Because it is getting to be a bit of a problem. It's kind of lousy to have to listen to storms for so very, very long. Also, everything's getting struck by lightning continually. It's also kind of a pain. Alright, Constance, you are heading to the Go Juice. And one of the advantages of Go Juice is, like I said, a very powerful painkiller. So the negative effects of food poisoning are negated a little bit, and will make him a little bit more happy, as his recreation needs are now met. Huh. I thought you didn't do work. Oh no, I guess they do work. It's just Constance that doesn't. And whoa, yet another masterwork. I really would not expect a masterwork out of Leth, given an artistic skill of 5, but that is the beauty of an inspiration, I suppose. So Leth, let's get you to install that in your temporary bedroom. Raptor has a shoot frenzy. Raptor, would you be so kind as to bless JD? Where is JD? Bless JD with an inspiration. I would love to be able to make really, really powerful sniper rifles. Where is JD? Oh, okay. Shredding. And I think this is good use of words of inspiration. And then we also had cargo pods land over here, and it's warped. And yeah, I'll grab that. That's a lot of beer to be beard. Inspired surgery yet again, unfortunately. I figured it was going to be something dumb like that that was not going to be all that worth it. All right. Here it is. Get in shovel. Aureo, Fa, and Constance departing, which means I can switch Gabe and Leth, you are going to get Constance's bed for being so patient and sleeping in the scanner room. And I can switch my hospital beds back. And they're off. Oh, another thing I want to do before I actually send them is remove the roof here so that the rewards land in my base and not, you know, somewhere far away. Not over here where I have to haul them. Okay, cool. Send. Rewards completed. So we have a Toxelgur Persona Monosword that we got awarded. And that was primarily what I was after. And then we also have a crazy amount of plasteel, which will be great. And the Psychic Harmonizer, which I could hypothetically put into Raptor. So this Monosword has Psi Meditative. This weapon's persona is naturally meditative and helps its wielder focus in psychic meditation. The wielder gains an extra 10% Psi focus per day of meditation, as long as the weapon is held. Now, here's one of the things I was thinking of. Raptor Talon, I think I'm going to have him use this. I think that's my game plan. Because he is, of course, my Psycaster. And one of the things, especially noted in this fight, is it required me to use Phoenix or Bash to bait shots for him to Psycast, because he himself didn't have a shield belt. So if I am to give him this Persona Monosword, I do realize, yes, he's not a meleeer naturally, but it gives him the ability to Psi focus gain quickly. It also gives me another brawler, and it would allow for him to use a shield belt, which would be, you know, very, very, very good when I need to Psycast dangerously. So I'm going to make a spare shield belt, and Raptor is going to make the formal change over from ranged to melee. I was previously thinking about giving it the Bash, but I think because of the Psi Meditative stats, it makes the most sense to give it to Raptor. And then another net benefit is because of the Psi Meditative effects, I'll be able to do more Words of Inspiration and more other general Psi casts more often because of my Psi focus gain will be so good. So if we take a look here, the Psi focus gain is 93%, which is terrific. Also, the worst of the toxic fallout just settled. That was a really short toxic fallout storm. What I'm going to do now is... set up the avoid zone. Oh, that broke there, didn't it? Set up the avoid zone to avoid this mech cluster. And then also head to simulating the encampment as soon as I can so that I can clear that out and reap the rewards for that quest. After Raptor regains some focus. So I have 6 days until the other cluster fires up and makes it toxic again. Not a lot of time, but it's enough time to get some stuff done. And then that also means that everybody here can be set on a void zones. The void zone is just, hey, don't go into the mech cluster, and that's about it. So a lot of the idleness they have in and around the colony should go away. I'm also going to remove the roof over this section, but leave it here. You know what? No, forget it. Don't even bother. Removing roof takes a kind of a while, so I'm not even going to bother. So simming in the encampment here, I have 3 days to do. It gives me a neuroformer. And there is 13 skeletons at the encampment. What is slowing me down? Whoa, I don't want the mech cluster to get hit. But why is time slowing down? Oh, I think it was I got too close to them or something. Oh, some of those turrets are on. I thought they were... okay, I guess they woke up. I had no idea. Well, let me be very, very cautious here and how I repair this, and then also I'm going to change the avoid zone now to not allow anyone close to here, because I guess this mech cluster is way more active than I thought it was. I thought it was still dormant, but it clearly isn't, so we're going to have to avoid... no, I knew that. I guess I forgot it. But I knew that this was active. Some of the turrets here. Okay, there we go. That should keep me safe. Now, I am hoping that Reapers or Manhunters or something like that arrive soon so that I might be able to get some freebie damage to this cluster without actually having to do very much. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that. JD, where's my shield belt? Alright, JD, you are going to be deprioritized constructing so that you build. This monument basically fully ripped up. There's the shield belt, and of course this is going to be raptors. Done. Alright, once my psi focus gain is full, I'm going to head over and clear that encampment. That is my next big goal. At this point, I think it's safe to say we don't really need more plasteel. At least not at the moment. So let's go spend your time else doing something else. We have 1,800 plasteel. We actually have more plasteel than steel. Oh, actually, a really good use of your time would be mining this. Done. Another thing I'd like to do is to maybe... for the sake of kiting, and ease of shooting, mine some of this out so that if I'm being chased by mechs, I can more easily kite them. Seems weird, I know, but I think it's going to pay off. Okay, we are quite low on simple meals, so let's change the simple meals to allow all vegetarian. Throw in those berries and start cooking them up. I'm about to get a harvest of potatoes pretty soon, so it's not like an immediate need. And then the wort. I guess we never hauled the wort. So Gabe and Leth, haul this wort out here because it's not going to stay very long. No need to waste it. Animals. Let's go. You're going to be set to... Nah, we'll keep you on priority hauling. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to include priority hauling, pet priority hauling to this area here, so that I can more quickly move the steel that I've been mining up from that node and putting it where it belongs. Also, let's add this zone too, and allow my pets to cut through this way. The stay fortified zone should be updated to be accurate, and no part of it should be outside my base, so if I use it next, I'm actually truly fortified. So that means out here is removed. That looks good. Now, one other thing I need to make sure I don't do is I don't have anything fall on my head. So I'm going to leave one of the slag here so it holds up the roof in case there is a roof. Yeah, there is. So that would suck to die or miss a jaw or something like that from it falling on my head. Something that happens often. All right, Mr. Raptor, you are not yet full psychic focus gain. We're going to just keep waiting for that to happen. I think there's more. Yeah, 17 more wort. Phoenix, you go for it. So now when centipedes are around the entrance of my kill box, it's going to be far easier for my snipers to snipe in on them. And that way it's not so difficult to kite or anything like that. That's been a real pain. Okay, that looks good. Thank you, Bash. And the potatoes. So once the potatoes are sown and Raptor's side focus is all the way up, which it looks like it is, Hippies is all the way up as well, we will make an honest effort to clear out that encampment. Probably sending everybody, and definitely rearming them and switching out their guns. So let's go ahead and preemptively harvest the rest of these potatoes, even though they're not quite ready, because we're going to be at the encampment. Huh, not only did this thing get hit by lightning, it also then broke down. What an unlucky solar panel. Oh, speaking of breakdowns, looks like some of my batteries broke down as well. You'll also probably see that the temperature is changing, and it's becoming safer for me to wear armor again. So I am going to clear forced on everybody so that they put their cataphract helmets back on, which is in my best interest heading into a skeleton fight. Oh, Maverick is pregnant again. So Gabe, let's switch guns. might be... You know, I think the... No, we'll go assault rifles. I was gonna say maybe it's worth me trying to use the Masterwork chain shotgun, but I don't think so. And here's the armor swap. Another thing I could do is to have Bash temporarily don the Phoenix armor. Or actually, even one, even better would be someone like JD. Someone who can actually use the Phoenix armor as Phoenix. Meaning that they can't be wearing a shield belt. So we are getting that costume change in order. And now, as you can see, JD moves a bit slower, but he's still above, because he was a jogger, which is one of the reasons I chose him. It mitigates about half of the movement speed penalties of the Phoenix armor. So he's still moving pretty fast, but as you can see here, his sharp protection is quite high. And the Phoenix armor here has a launch incendiary as a special attack. Man, JD is looking swole. Oh, there's some tunnel blockers here that I can remove. Totally blanked on that. I meant to remove them by now, but I hadn't. How much time do I have? A day and a third left? Okay. I'll probably be heading to the encampment next episode, given the amount of time I have left on the clock. But I feel pretty well equipped for such a fight. I'm decently geared. Ooh, we also have an exotic goods trader. Excellent. All right, Mr. Raptor, let's go have a chat. And what do we got here? We have got some tech prints that I don't much care for. We have a Doomsday Launcher, which I will buy. I don't know about the Lances actually might really come in handy. I will spend my money that way. And then, of course, there is the selling of my sculptures. So, let me uninstall them. Unfortunately, that means all of them. So, and get them sold for the money. I will keep making art, but making money from the sculptures is going to be pretty important. So Raptor, Hall. Let's get the Doomsday Launcher, and eventually I'll put the Doomsday Launcher in this pod, this emergency pod, which has the Res Mech Serum and the other Doomsday Launcher, so that can't be destroyed. I'll get that loaded up in a second here. Get all these other sculptures hauled away and sold. To recoup some of the costs that I just spent. Right. Done. All right, now, cancel the load here and add this to a stockpile, a temporary stockpile. And in this transport pod, put 2 Doomsday Launchers and 1 Res Mech Serum. Just to keep it protected. So it can't, essentially, and I mentioned this before, but essentially so it can't be targeted by tantrums. You know, there's no way that a targeted tantrum can target the stuff in a transport pod. So we have a day left on that quest. Another thing that I might do while I'm soon is to get rid of that weather controller. It's 8 skeletons, so they still outnumber me, but I don't know if they're going to outgun me. And I feel like I've waited long enough for Raptor to get back in his prestige armor. So let's slap that on before the end of this episode, giving him a little bit extra protection for the upcoming fight. Well, guys, that is all the time I have. It was more or less just a maintenance episode of getting everything back in order and ready for the next mech cluster and to head out on Simeon and Encampment. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to hear from you. I will do my best to answer any questions that you have, or, you know, just agree with you if I like your feedback, and maybe even mention it on stream if I find it useful. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.